do you think, Lethal?
I mean, I had to stop watching halfway through, but no, I
Did
mean,
you?
it looked good. Yeah, I mean, I caught the story stuff and then I had to dip out, but I mean, I'm interested, bro. I'm telling you, if it's a PS, if they end up doing a PS Plus drop, I think that'll get me to try it out more so.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like it's gonna be the only. It's weird because I was like, as some of the as they were talking before, I was like scrolling through Twitter, and someone said something that like really like hit the nail on the head. You're Bungie. You guys made Destiny. Granted, you guys made Halo, but you guys made Destiny, which is a big looter shooter. And then you're gonna put a new IP, which is not a looter shooter, it's an extraction shooter, the same day as one of your biggest looter shooter competitors out there, which is Borderlands 4. So like that's really like the way that they did that. It's the release date's really weird, but I understand because I don't understand, kind of, but I think
that move still doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense, but they needed to get it out. I understand they needed to get it out before GTA 6 because this.
Good.
No, because you got to remember, because 2K was supposed to have a game out this year, and one of the other big 2K, but besides WWE and all like the sports stuff, but one of the big 2K franchises is Borderlands and GTA. So GTA is not going to be this year. They're not going to cannibalize GTA and Borderlands. So they put out Borderlands this year, and they're going to do GTA next year. So I think that's the reason why they put it out this year. I don't like the date, but I think that's the reason why they put it out this year rather than next year. But
yeah, I mean, like I mentioned to you before, bro, I think them putting it out on the same day as Borderlands, it's just so that they don't let Borderlands get the advantage of like building up a big player base or whatever. Like this allows them, I think, to compete with it if they can. Because if they were to drop this like after Borderlands, and like you said, maybe even GTA comes out, I think this game was just going to get lost in the shuffle. So they definitely were trying to probably beat if GTA does come out, because it's still in the error if that's going to still drop this year or not.
Yeah.
So I agree with your point that like I do think they want to get it out probably before that and as early as they possibly could. And I think they just also were just, you know what? I hear, or they probably just knew that Borderlands was going to drop that date or whatever, and they're just like, oh, screw it. Let's just go and fight for like that time and see if they can get people to come in. But yeah, I think this is just probably like their last big live service push. Because after this, there's only one more game. I think that's Fairgrounds for PlayStation. I think that's the other one. Fairgrounds is like that. I think it's what's called, something like that. That's being worked on. So like, I don't know, bro. I think this is probably one of their last big attempts to like hit something else in the live service department.
I mean, yeah, you're right, because like I forget this is Bungie's. I don't know if they're owned, but let's just say they might be owned by PlayStation. So I forget that this is kind of like one of PlayStation's like the live service game. So you are right. It could be a PlayStation Plus exclusive. I mean, not PlayStation Plus exclusive, but it could be a PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, definitely not exclusive. This game has to go. If I were PlayStation, I'd drop this on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch 2.
No. It's on everything. Yeah. Like you can pre-order it on Switch, or you can pre-order it on Xbox, not Switch, but Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, and you can play the alpha on any of those. But I meant like PlayStation is like I meant to say not exclusive, but like you know how like games are on Game Pass or PS Plus. Like I feel like
you're talking about a day one drop on PS Plus. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but like
for sure.
I feel like it would be better to drop it on the tier, not the free PS Plus, like not the regular free PS Plus, but like the tier PS Plus, like the platinum or whatever the $80 one is.
You're bugging. I disagree. It's the opposite way.
Really?
You put it on essential so that everybody has a chance to play. At the end of the day, for these games to prosper, you have to have players. That's the number one way these games survive. It doesn't matter about money. In the beginning, it does not matter about money. What matters is players. If people aren't playing your product, then what's the point? You have to grab everybody day one. And the best way to do that is you drop this on PS Plus Essential. You sell it on Xbox. In fact, I'm making a buck with you, bro. If they really want this game to survive, you make it the most accessible way possible, and you put it on Game Pass. If Xbox offers a deal, I say you take it. I do think these are the best ways for these games to stay in the game in the long run. That's my point.
That is true, but you also got to remember, like, I know you said, forget about the money, but this is a live service game. So far, I mean, granted, it was just the gameplay reveal that we saw, but you got to remember, this is a live service. So will it have skins? Will it? I mean, obviously they're gonna have like new maps and then new people, but will those be Will those be free, or would you have to pay? If those are gonna be free, then how are they gonna make money? So they would
No,
have
you're
to.
you're definitely paying for that. Yeah, cosmetics, all that stuff for sure. Any type
Well,
of
no,
really
yeah, cosmetics,
paying
but
for
like,
that. Yeah.
we haven't. I mean, obviously we haven't seen cosmetics since it's gameplay, but like, if they don't have cosmetics, because yeah, we saw like different people have different stuff, but that's just the armor. That wasn't cosmetic. That was just the armor that they have. Kind of armor's cosmetics, but you know what I mean, like the the cosmetic. You know what I mean? So
bro,
like,
it's gonna have it. It's gonna have cosmetics. I mean, we're talking about people who, like you said, like made. Well, I don't know about this.
I mean, that is true. That is true because
I mean, these are people who are, Destiny had plenty of expansions, plenty of cosmetics, plenty of downloadable stuff. You're gonna have that for sure in this game, 100%. And I'm telling you, that's gonna be probably the way that they have to in the beginning to worry about making the money. If they want it to be a long-term successful project, because there's no point and dropping it for like $60 on day one, and then nobody wants to buy it because people are not invested. I'm not even that invested into it. You know what I mean? I might grab it. But like if you drop it on PS Plus, I'm gonna play it. If that's how you get me to play it. And I think that's how you get people to spend more money by making games like these way more accessible in the beginning. In my opinion, that's the best way to go about it.
no, yeah, no, you're right. You're right because like I'm realizing that Destiny has a lot of
Oh yeah.
cosmetics, a
Yeah.
lot of like they even have certain you could what sucks is you can only buy it on PlayStation, but you can use it on Xbox. But they have Ghost of Tsushima stuff, they have Kratos stuff.
Exactly.
That
Yeah,
so
and
like
they're smart. They
so
cross
yeah,
promote, like
yeah, yeah,
100%,
yeah,
yeah.
you're right. So yeah,
It's the best way to go about it.
I think hopefully they go that route because that would be great in my money because that means I have time to play Borderlands and this. But if it comes down to like if it's priced, if it's I see this is where I see it. I see it as if it's not on PlayStation Plus, then I see it being a $40 game. There's no way this shit's gonna be a
Yeah.
$60 game for sure.
It would have to be a low price game at like 40 if they don't do it. But I feel like the other factor that I play into this too is that like this is Bungie's like next big game that needs to have support for the next 4 to 5 years. I mean, what else is Bungie gonna do if if this game were to flop? What does Bungie do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
That
true.
might be the biggest. That might be the biggest waste of money from PlayStation.
That's
So
true because
they have to support the hell out of this game, and I think the way you do that is you make it the easiest way possible to get in and play, which is putting it in part of like PS Plus, Game Pass if you can. I think that's just the best way of doing it for sure.
yeah, no, you're right because like if this fails, granted, like they have Destiny, but I don't think Destiny's in a right space right now. Granted, I'm going to go
Yeah.
back to Destiny right now, like in like a couple hours and play Destiny, but right now, I don't think Destiny is in a good spot as it is game wise because like yeah they have the acts and stuff like that, but people are not content with these acts. They want more like DLC and stuff like that. The final shape, I thought the final shape was pretty good, but a lot of people did not
Bro,
like the final shape. So I'm
I'm,
like,
I'm I just saw a tweet from Mario64 go out saying Marathon is going to launch as a premium product, meaning players will be asked to pay full price upfront. It's going to have a battle pass system with 3 maps and a fourth map that will arrive shortly after launch. So there you go. I'm gonna say right now, bro. I don't think they have confidence in this product. And that's the case, then, bro. I don't think they have confidence in this at all. The charges for a full price game, and I don't know, that to me sounds like it's going to be between 40 to 60, if anything, or maybe even 70. Who knows? I'll be honest with you, bro. I don't think this game has a lot of faith and courage put into it because if you're dropping this with the money behind, like, a price tag on this, whatever, I don't see this doing well, bro. I'll tell you right now. I feel like PlayStation just doesn't learn, but I also feel like PlayStation maybe realized that maybe just doesn't have like the power to hook people in. And I mean, me and you are already kind of like, well, I think you're more into it than I am, but like,
yeah,
even for me, I'm kind of like on the fence about it. And already they're pricing it up the front like that, bro. Never mind. I take it back.
Yeah,
This
no,
game might
they're
not do
they're
as well as I'm thinking. I think that's a terrible decision,
yeah. I'm,
bro.
I'm looking at the tweet right now. It said, yeah, Marathon is going to launch as a premium product, meaning players will be asked pay full price. Marathon will have 3 battle passes, or have a battle pass, 3 maps, which I again that's dumb. You're gonna have 6 players at launch with 3 maps. 6 players at launch and 3 maps. This is a game, like a fighting game. This is a game that you need at least 10 players, 10 playable people, and at least 5 maps. Because you're gonna get 3 map, yeah, 4th map arriving shortly after launch. Okay, you're gonna have another map. So, but by the time that 4th map is gonna arrive, you're probably gonna be sick and tired of those 3 maps already. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a hundred
Like
percent.
and it's gonna have a battle pass. Great. There's your game making money, but you're also paying full price of the game. If you have to pay full price for a game and a battle pass, that's a no go. That's why like
Yeah,
there's granted like um um when I play Smite, you can either play. I mean, Smite is free, but if you want to have all the gods, you pay $60 to have all the gods that it came out, and all the gods are going to be coming out forever. But there is a battle pass that you can pay if you want to. So like that I can understand. Like it's free to play, but if you want all the gods, you can buy the pass. But there's still a battle pass. But
yeah, bro.
this
Them
right
charging
here,
full price makes no
yeah, this
sense.
right here,
Yeah,
you're essentially charging the full game plus a battle pass. Granted, you don't have to buy the battle pass, but I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a backlash saying that I'm paying full price and there's gonna be a battle pass. You're asking for money. You
yeah,
know what I mean? There.
yeah, bro. This is gonna be Concord number two. I'm calling it right now. This will be Concord number two. Because the thing is, I've not seen them drum up enough hype for this game for people to be like, I'm down to spend the money on it. I really have. I mean, bro, this is what the second showing we've ever seen on this game, and it's coming out in like 4 months. You're talking about it, and you're talking about in the same timeline that GTA 6 exists. Are you nuts?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm only saying that because let's be real, GTA 6 will it's going to take away players from just about every big AAA type of
Yep.
game,
Exactly.
especially ones that are shooters. At that, you're insane. Like that is the biggest flop. I think they know that this isn't gonna. I don't like I said. I don't think they have faith in this game. I think they already know that it's not going to do well. It's not going to perform well. And so what they want to do is they want to bank as much money as they can at launch.
It's
And
funny because like
I guarantee this game does not see. I know maybe a year or two, maybe. Then that's being generous.
yeah,
I don't. They're
we can't.
wild, bro.
All right. Two things. As you said, oh, there's gonna be definitely a Concord 2. I'm scrolling down the fucking comments from the Warrior post. So I'm gonna send Concord 2 guaranteed. Okay.
Yeah, 100%,
First of all,
bro. Anybody can tell that. Yeah, 100%.
second of all, you can't even say, oh, let's give it a year, because we said let's give Concord 6 months. Bitch, that shit didn't even last
You're
a
right.
month.
You're right. You're right. They pulled it after 2 weeks. You're right. Give it 2 weeks then. Give it
No,
you're
no, no,
100%
no.
right. Give it 2 weeks.
No. I do see this lasting a little bit more. To be honest, at least 6 months, just because it has the name Bungie. That's the only reason why.
The
I'll give it
crazy
like
part
six
is,
six
though,
weeks, 6 months to a week.
Concord had me way more hooked in from the aesthetic alone, and then the gameplay looked fun to back it up.
Well, because it was because it's a
I feel
different,
like Marathon doesn't have that.
it's a
Go
different
ahead.
game mode for you. That's why. Because this is an attraction. At least Concord was basically like a Call of Duty, like a hero Call of Duty. This is more of like an Apex hero attraction shooter, basically.
Yeah. No, that's fair. But I think a lot of people also are not like that crazy about this game aesthetically. I feel like that's the common like criticism I feel on this game. Or some people are just like, yeah, it doesn't appeal to me. Like it doesn't look like something that appeals to me. And I'm not even from a game perspective. I think it's legit. People are just looking at it like, yeah, it doesn't look cool. Like it's not really for me type of deal. And I feel like that's probably one of the biggest things with it. It seems like it has a cool like lore to it, right? What they're
Yeah,
kind of like showing there. It does look
I am
interesting.
confused, and I'm
Yeah,
excited for that lore.
it looks interesting. Don't get me wrong, but I do think most people are looking at it and feeling like it's a very generic, appealing title. That's just my opinion, at least.
No, no, yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It's just I just feel like it's just
Like if you were to tell me this was made by Bungie, I'd be like, nah, you're bugging. Like, there's no way. If you tell me this is Bungie, I'd be like, no way. The studio behind Halo, right? In the studio behind Destiny, you're bugging. There's no way, bro. I would have been like, no way.
Yeah, it was a little. Like I said, like I'm very interested and I'm very excited to actually hopefully get to play in the alpha. Granted, if I don't get to play in the alpha, I'm gonna be pissed, but I will still buy this game at launch. You know, depending on well, no matter what, I'll get this game at launch, but knowingly, I probably won't play it as much because it's literally the same day as Borderlands, which I'm a huge Borderlands fans, guys. If you did not know, but what bothers
Yeah,
me, like I said before, is just it's 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 the six. You're gonna have six people at launch, and you're gonna have three maps. That's very, and that's why, and honestly, and I think that's why another reason why Halo Infinite did kind of bad as well, because you only had like I think 10. Let's just say 10 maps, and three of the maps were exclusive to like the big team battle type game mode. So you essentially only had 7 maps that you can play 4v4. You think no, that's enough for like a Halo? No, because like you get once you get stuck in that rotation, sometimes you get hit with the one map 3 4 times in a row, and then you're like, yo, come on, this is some bullshit. But I think that's another reason why Halo Infinite didn't do good. But that's why Halo Infinite is doing well. Another reason why Halo Infinite is doing better because they have the custom made maps. They have a lot of maps now. That took some time, but to start out with 3 maps, bro, 3 maps. Ugh, I don't know. It's granted, I don't play Tarkov, so I don't really know. But also, if we're talking about extraction shooters that have a story, kind of, um, what am I thinking of? Rainbow Six Extraction that that has a story, kind of, that has a lot of maps, that has a lot of people you can use. I just and that was a full price game. Luckily, it was actually available on Game Pass. I don't know if it was on available on PS Plus, but it was available on Game Pass. But I just don't. I don't know. I mean, I hope it does good. I'm not talking shit about the game. I just hope it does good. And I'm excited no matter what. I'm excited no matter what. It's just
if they're smart,
weird.
they'll take this opportunity to really like look into how the alpha playtest performs.
Yeah,
And if I hope that if they do this alpha playtest and realize that listen, numbers aren't what we need it to be, right? They're not hitting the expectations that they wanted. I really hope they reevaluate and say, you know what, we're gonna drop this as a PS Plus title or something like that. Like I really hope they change their mind because dropping this game as a full price title, bro, I'm telling you right now, it's such a terrible decision, especially in the day and age where there's so many good free to play, maybe not even just extraction shooters, but just shooters in general. There's so many. You can It's
exactly.
so hard. It is so hard nowadays in this competitive ecosystem of shooters, especially like extractions, whatever the case may be, squad. It to drop a full price title like this in today's thing, it's like it's kind of dumb. Like you're really gonna be competing against like the Tarkovs, literally the Tarkovs. Like in order for you to pull like from the stuff like that, you have to drop your game at the most entry level possible way. And if they're not willing to do it for free use, then you have to drop it on PS Plus, and do a Game Pass deal. But them dropping
Honestly,
at 70, bro, forget it, bro.
honestly, I think the biggest competitor that they're gonna have is gonna be Warzone. Granted, Warzone's
Yeah,
not
sure.
doing really good right now, but in general, their biggest competitor is going to be Warzone because Warzone is basically kind of an extraction shooter if you think about it. Granted, it's a battle royale, but if you actually think about it, it's an extraction shooter. You're killing shit, you're grabbing shit to go get your loot, and then you're trying to be number one. You're trying to extract from the helicopter, being the best team. Granted, you can extract in extracting shooters. You don't have to be the last team standing. You can just extract anytime you want. But I think that's their biggest competitor, Warzone, and Warzone's free. So hopefully, if they somehow it I don't know they reverse that decision to make it not free or like pay it. Sorry, but who
Yeah, and I
knows?
think the other thing they're doing too is the whole like story thing, right? I feel like they're trying to do a same thing like a Concord, where they're trying to push like, hey, like this multiplayer game does have a narrative, it does have an actual story beat to it.
Yeah,
There's a campaign and all that stuff, and I feel like that's just I don't know. I just feel like Sony looks at that and it's like we got Ben Starr to be maybe one of the main characters for it or whatever the case may be, and it's like, bro, I really don't think you guys understand. Like that is not enough. It truly is not enough. Like at the end of the day, this is a multiplayer focused game. The multiplayer focus has to be the focus. Like you can't. There's just no way that they look at it and go, you know what? We did a whole campaign to it. We kind of have to like get that upcharge in there. It just doesn't make sense, bro. I'm telling you, this game won't outlast long.
Yeah, I mean it looks good. I'm going to for sure I'm going to like watch that, like rewatch the whole stream again, and just like watch that like maybe later tonight or something like that before I go to bed. But I don't know. It just it does, like I said, it looks cool. It looks a little weird, funky. It looks like blocky a little bit almost. Like some of the like elements and stuff like that. But well, like I said, we'll see. We'll see how the alpha goes and stuff like that. But I think that's it. Like